And good afternoon, and welcome to KDX AM 1590. This is Darren Todd on Welcome to the Booth, the show that brings you everything that you want to know about communities, events, programs, organizations, and so forth. I'm very excited to be here today with my producer, Mooring Johnson, the man who loves boats more than anything else in the world. As you can tell, Mooring's always an interesting character. He prefers to be behind the scenes, which is,
right.
I'm very excited. As indicated, we're here. And welcome to the booth with Darren Todd. A very good friend of mine who I've known probably 10 years, maybe.
Yeah, 10 years.
Something like that. Mr. Greg Killebrew. How are you doing, Mr. Killebrew?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good.
I'd like to welcome you to the booth.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you could have me.
Now, what we're going to talk a little bit about is Greg, if I call you Greg.
Yes, sir.
And you have a long history of being in Southeast Missouri. Is that correct?
Yes.
Where are you from, Greg?
I'm from Malden.
And tell me a little bit about yourself.
I grew up in Malden, went to Malden High School. I dropped out about the 11th grade, halfway through. My street life is terrible, but, that's what people know me as, my street life. But I love Malden, and I've been living there pretty much all my life. I moved away and then came back.
Well, tell me a little bit about your family. I know that obviously Marilyn Fiddler, who worked for the city of Malden, was your sister.
Yes.
Annie Killebrew.
It's my sister.
Who was a long-time juvenile officer here in Dunklin County.
26 years.
Or 26 years?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your family. How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Well, it's 7 of us, but my 2 oldest brothers passed away, and I'm left with four girls.
And then tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you married?
Yes, I'm married to Lynn Hughes. Well, Killebrew.
Right, I understand that. Got any kids? Any grandkids?
I got 4 girls and 4 grandkids.
I'm sure that they keep you busy.
Yes.
And when you're not dealing with family and things of that nature, you're working. Is that correct?
Yeah, I work for Dunklin County Maintenance, Monday through Friday.
And I think everybody will know if they drive by the courthouse or if they go to the Justice Center, they'll always see you there doing something. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Are you charging inside and outside of all the grounds? Is that correct?
I'm at the courthouse. I am at the Justice Center. We have a company that comes out and mow the grass, But that trash, I empty all the trash outside.
And let's talk a little bit about what you're here today. Welcome to the booth with Darren Todd on AM 1590 KDX. Let's talk a little about the Positive Brotherhood. Talk a little bit about what that is.
Well, Positive Brotherhood is a group that I started when I came home from federal prison. I had kind of messed a lot of things up, and when I came home from federal prison, I went straight to my mama and told her that that street life is over. And she said, I hope so.
And let me talk to you a little bit about that. How old were you when you got out of federal prison, Greg?
I was 50-some years old.
And how long were you?
53.
And how long were you in?
18, almost 20 months.
Okay. Was it a life-changing situation?
No, I was tired, Darren. I got tired. And I just wanted something different. So I chose something different.
Right.
And, me, myself, I promised my mother for 33 years of my life that I was going to change, quit running streets, quit selling drugs, quit being around the crowd, this, that, and the other, because they were all negative. And I told her that for years, man. And this time, I was just tired, man. I wanted something different. So I came home and chose something different.
And you indicated that you went and spoke with your mother, which is obviously a very important person in your life. Is that correct?
I had to go speak with her as soon as I came home from federal prison. I had to let her know that I was going to change, but I don't want to tell you I'm going to change. I want to show you I'm going to change. And that's what I did.
And forgive me for not knowing this. Is your mother still with us?
No, she passed January 10th, 2017. And she's been gone, and I've been okay.
And I'm assuming that every day since then you've been working towards keeping that promise that you made to her back in January?
I'm going to keep that promise, Mr. Todd.
That's one thing I can say about you, Greg, is when you put your word out there, you're going to keep it. Is that correct?
That's right. I try to. All I got is my word, man.
And again, we're excited to be here with Greg Killebrew from the Positive Brotherhood on AM 1590 KDEX.
Yes,
This is
sir.
Darren Todd with Welcome to the Booth. And let's talk a little bit about what's going on. You said you came back from federal prison. You spoke with your mother, said, "Hey, I'm going to make a change, and I'm
Yes.
going to show you." What'd you go about doing?
I started telling people about my life, the things I've been through, what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Not what I heard, what I've seen and what I've done, and how my life has panned out. 33 years of me just going to prison. That's all it was. I was taking vacations in prison while everybody else was going to Florida. So when I came home this time, man, I had a plan. I had God on my side, and I knew something was different because he was showing me something different. So I left and came home, man, and I started Positive Brotherhood.
And we talked a little bit about Positive Brotherhood, and you said you started it. Was there other individuals other than you that really sat down and decided, hey, let's make a change for the better of the youth in this community, or was it mostly your idea?
I'm the founder and the president of Positive Brotherhood. It was started by me, myself, all by myself. People didn't believe in me. People wanted to be on my team, but they didn't want to do the things that my heart was telling me to do. And that's feed the youth. If you can help them, help them. If you can go somewhere and speak to the kids, do it. You know what I'm saying? So when I had the gun violence rally, everybody was like wanting to be in, but I didn't put everybody in. I put myself in so I could show the people sitting on the side that it's something different. And what people are going to stand up here and tell you is all they can talk about my background all day, but they haven't lived it.
Now, as you know, I'm an attorney
Yes,
by
sir.
trade,
Yes, sir.
and I've dealt with a lot of individuals who's made some bad choices. Not bad people, made bad choices, been in bad circumstances, done some things they're not proud of. The one thing I've always admired is, first of all, somebody who takes responsibility, wants to change, and wants to do better. That's what you did back in 2017, and ever since then you've been living it. What was the first event that you did put together for Positive Brotherhood that you can really say, hey, you know what? This is really going to work. I'm really going to make a difference, and this is how I'm looking at it from here on out.
The gun violence rally I did, 350 people signed in, bought T-shirts. Most of them bought T-shirts from Positive Brotherhood. Gun violence rally. I did it in Martin Luther King Park in Malden. And I had speakers come up, but the biggest thing was people wanted to see what I had to say. And I told them the truth about my life, how the things are going to go in the future. And all I did was told them the truth, Darren Todd. The young kids are going to jail at a high rate. We can't stop them. They're shooting these guns at a high rate. They're giving people fentanyl to kill them. And the drug thing is just terrible right now, man.
And let's talk a little bit about the actual rally itself. You said there's about 350 people that signed in. When was that rally?
Oh, man, in 2000, September of 2014.
14?
Yeah.
Okay. And since then, you've done this for about 10, 15 years?
10 and a half years I've been doing Positive Brotherhood right now.
Okay. And you indicated there were speakers, there's things of that nature, and there's giveaways and things of that nature.
Yeah.
How do you fund this?
Man, I'm going to tell you, this is what I always tell people. God has put people around me that he know, and he know what I'm doing. And I'm only doing his work, man. When I give away 200 turkeys, I'm only doing what God want me to do. When I give bikes and stuff to those kids, man, I'm doing what God want me to do. When I look out for the elderly, God want me to do that. So if I have an event and somebody say how much you need to do an event, none of my events is over $1,000. They're cheap. But people don't understand that. I make it look like I spend a lot of money, but all the time they're not, man.
And I guess the one thing that we want to emphasize is if someone does give you a donation or give you some money to spend, you spend this all on the event. This is not going into your pocket.
I don't need it, man. I work every day.
Okay. And
All I'm trying to do is take care of some kids. That's it.
And again, we're here with Greg Killebrew from the Positive Brotherhood on Welcome to the Booth with Darren Todd, KDX AM 1590, and talking about that first event, which was the gun rally.
That was the pivot.
And that's really started it.
Yeah.
Since then, you've done numerous other things, and I know we're here. Let's talk a little bit about that. And I know it's going to stretch your memory a little bit, but I think it's important for the listeners to know that, every event's not a great event, but every event will build on another event. So tell the listeners a little bit about what you've done as far as some of the other events and things that you've done through Positive Brotherhood.
Through Positive Brotherhood, I've gave away clothing to 25 different kids 3 years in a row. We did the gun violence rally twice. We was the guest speakers in Sykeston for a gun violence rally. I was a guest speaker in Cape Girardeau for some of the Mothers Against Gun Violence and Mothers Against Drinking and Driving. I'm a speaker in Hayti all the time, Family Drug Court, the Juvenile Center over here, C-Star. And I've been to Kansas City speaking. I've been to St. Louis giving speeches. I go to the drug center in Clinton, Missouri, called Pathways. I go there twice a year to speak to the people who are in the drug center. And I'm doing all type of events for kids.
And let's talk a little bit about that. I think the kids are obviously your passion, not that, but I think you have a real soft spot. I've read some of your Facebook posts and things of that nature. This year in particular, I think that you're going to Martin Luther King Park, and you also came down here to Kennett. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I did. For the month of July, we did Feeding the Youth. And we gave away hot dogs, Hot Pockets to the kids. We let them sign up for a chance to win a bike. So the first week I was in Kennett, Tuesday and Thursday. Let the kids sign up for a bike. I was in Indian Park. And then that Thursday, I was in Jones Park giving away food to the kids. And then we went back to Malden Tuesday and Thursday, the same thing, sign up for bikes. And I got blessed, man, and a lady bought me 4 bikes, 2 to give away in Kennett, 2 to give away in Malden.
And I think that's something that we should, realize in this area, in this community. While there are some underprivileged things and some issues that we'd like, I think that the community, when they're asked, comes out in droves to help the kids and helps individuals when they see that it's a positive situation going on. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
And now let's talk a little bit about the Positive Brotherhood and the summer feeding. Explain to you how you came up with that idea.
Well, it was the idea that I've been holding for about 2 years. So I talked to someone that I work with, and I was telling him about what I wanted to do. And he said, whenever you get everything worked out, let me know. It's like, all right. So I got everything worked out and went back to him and showed him. He was like, hey, we going to make this work. And we did it all month.
And do you have any idea about how many meals you gave out the month of July? Is that correct?
Yep. 165.
And did you see that a lot of the kids were coming back each day?
Yeah. In Malden, most of those kids came all the time, every day that we were in Malden. In Kennett, we had a different set from Jones Park to Indian Park. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On Jones Park, it was quite a few. Indian Park, I had quite a few the last week due to the fact that they were starting soccer.
And let's talk a little bit. We're here at Welcome to the Booth on KDX AM 1590, Darren Todd, with Greg Killebrew from the Positive Brotherhood. And Greg's been telling us a little bit about some of his outreach that he's been doing to help the children here in Dunklin County.
Yes, sir.
And you indicated in your Facebook posts that you gave the kids an opportunity to win a bike.
Yes, sir.
And I think it would be interesting for you to explain, some of these children have never had a bicycle. Is that correct?
Yeah, you're right.
And some of these are very underprivileged children.
Yes.
And they were extremely excited to have the opportunity to have something they call their own. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you have any kind of problems with any of the kids at the park at any time?
No. I've never had any problems at none of my events because I'm straight up and down. If you want to be here and start something, I know how to get rid of you. I'm going to call the police on you.
Right.
Just going to keep it real. Because when I have a bunch of kids around and I'm having a big event, I don't need you out here drinking and drugging, acting crazy and this, that, and the other. I don't have time for foolishness.
Right.
So you can play the game or not play the game.
And let me talk about some of the ages of these kids. You know, obviously, it's very important, much like education. If you can get them when they're younger, explain to them, hey, this life that some of these guys are showing is not the life that you want to lead. Have you had an opportunity to share your experiences with a lot of these kids when you're at these summer events and things of that nature?
Yes. Christopher Killebrew lives in Dexter, Missouri. He's a storm chaser. He was in my group from 8 years old to 17 and graduated Martin High School. He went to college. I bought him iPads, bought him a new phone, and gave it to him because he's going to school. Here you go. Lamar Benford is another. He's graduating this year. Well, he already graduated.
And I think it's important for the individuals to know that if you will take advantage of these opportunities, do what you're supposed to do, then things will pay off, and you'll find the way.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
That's right.
And, you know, a lot of individuals who say, well, I don't have the money to do this, or I don't have the opportunity to do this. I think if they would just accept that it's going to happen. You know, my mother's favorite quote was, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
You think you can, it'll happen. And I think that's what you're doing through the Positive Brotherhood. Is that what you're trying to emphasize is, hey, wherever you are in your life right now, you can change it one way or the other.
Can change.
And it all depends on your mindset. Is that correct?
That's right. You got to be, man, I'm focused, man. You got to stay focused, stay humble, and stay hungry. Never think, my last speech was my last speech. The next one you hear going to be a new one.
And we're here on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth with Greg Killebrew from the Positive Brotherhood. Greg's been helping the youth throughout Dunklin County and all of southeast Missouri for about, 10 years, probably 12.
It's 10 and a half years right now.
And every day do you wake up and think, you know, if I can just help one more kid, then it'll be worth it?
I don't really get up and wake up like that, but if I see a kid struggling, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to get to know him and see what's going on with him. Because I have a lot of kids, man, that they know me. I got 2 twin boys that I'm talking to now, okay?
Right.
And one of them is going to be wild, and the other one's going to be calm. And it could flip to where the one that's going to be wild could be calm. But right now, I'm trying to get them to see that, hey, man, you can't, if your mama wants you to do something, do it. If she tell you wash dishes, do it. If she tell you take the trash out, do it. That's what a man's supposed to do. But you got it caught up in your head that that's a woman's job, washing dishes. Or it's a woman's job to put the dishes in the dishwasher. It's not like that, man. Only way you're going to have a relationship is work together. So that's what I'm working with them now, trying to get them to see that when your mom wants you to do something, you're supposed to do it. You get your days numbered when you don't do what she say.
And I think it's very important that, and, you know, we've saw a lot of things that, you know, mothers are critical figures in individual lives, as well as the father, obviously. Obviously, if you can have a strong father figure and a strong mother figure. But obviously, you know, the mother is going to be there, you know, and you should do what your mother asks, and you should respect your mother.
Yes.
And in talking a little bit about some of the stuff you've done in the past, we talked a little bit about you were involved with the Family Treatment Court or Drug Court program here in Dunklin County. Is that correct?
Yep.
And explain to the listeners a little bit about what you've done and what that is.
Drug court is like people who have lost their kids to DFS. Some of them just catch cases like DUIs and stuff like that. But I'm a drug addict and alcoholic. I used to be. So when I go in there, I'm one of them. I can sit down with them and say, hey, what are we going to talk about today? Because I lost my kids to DFS. I went to jail because I was selling drugs around my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I'm an alcoholic and I'm a drug head. So everything that we're going to talk about in this class is trying to help one another. I want to pull you up when something hurting. I don't want to tear you down and say, hey, man, you need to do this. No, I want to help you get there. If I can help you get there, then you'll be a better person.
And you know, talking a little bit here, welcome to the booth with Darren Todd on KDX AM 1590 with my producer, Maureen Johnson, sitting to my right, who's also in charge of all things off the microphone because, you know, I'm considered the, what do they call me? Oh, I'm the on-air talent, Greg. Can you believe that anybody call me on-air talent?
Is that what they call you?
Well, maybe I call myself on-air talent. But, you know, getting back, and we're talking a little bit about the drug court program here in Dunklin County. Obviously, Jason Shear handles the family treatment court program. Then, obviously, we have Commissioner Leslie Lynn,
Yes, sir.
who's the commissioner, who you know very well.
Yes, sir.
And when children are removed as a result of abuse and neglect, they are then placed into a program. And I think the one thing that I've always thought is these people are going through a traumatic event. Their child had been removed.
Mm-hmm.
People are saying they're horrible parents.
Mm-hmm.
They're not fit to be parents.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in. And if they can see someone who can say, hey, it's going to be all right. We're here to help you, not here to hurt you. And that's the biggest hurdle that people have to get across, is it not?
That's it. The life we live, we don't trust people. People don't trust us. We don't trust them. So if I start to get clean, it's going to be some people I'm not going to trust. And it's going to be some people I'm going to trust. Because the people I'm probably not going to trust is the people that want me to go back and do drugs or go back and start drinking. But one thing about it, at the end of the day, you got to make that decision. You got to make those choices, man, of what you want to do with your own life.
And you know, the one thing I think about is, all right, we put these people in these classes and we say to ourselves, hey, I want you to do exactly what I tell you to say, and I want you to cut off everybody that you've ever known in your past and move forward and become a productive member of society without any friends, without contacts of any kind other than what we give you. Isn't that a situation in which you have to kind of like wrap your head around, how can you do that? How am I going to turn off the 25 years of the people I've known since I was in kindergarten and just go look for a new set of friends or a new set of people that I'm going to hang around with? That's where support groups and people who've done it come in,
Yes.
like yourself. Is that correct?
That's right.
I mean, and again, you've had people in your past that you no longer associate with because you know you can't. Is that correct?
That's right.
And explain a little bit to how you do that.
When I came home from prison, man, federal prison, I made it my business to say, I'm going to change. So what I was doing was building my own self to get to where I want to go. Either you want to go with me or you want to stay where you are. So along the way, Todd, I dropped a lot of people. I dropped a lot of friends that I knew they meant me no good. I dropped a lot of people that they say they mean me good, but they didn't mean me good. They can go over here and say, oh, he think he's something. But after I turned my life around, man, I started realizing I don't need none of them people. Only person I need to be with me is God. And that's who I praise and that's who I go to when it's tough for me or anything. And I dropped everybody else when I came home and I started Positive Brotherhood. And everybody had the same idea. He's going to be back in jail in 90 days. He's going to be out here on drugs. He's going to be around robbing. He's going to be around stealing. He said he's going to be hanging out everywhere. They was betting money that I would. And I told them they owe me money because I done did this for 10 and a half years. So y'all owe me. But it's just a joke, you know. But that's how people think, though, man.
And obviously you've been able to overcome that with a strong mindset. And you've indicated that you know, God was very important. At what point did God officially enter your mind? Was it sometime when you were in federal prison? Was it after? Was there somebody in particular who led you to that position?
When I went to federal prison, that's when everything changed. You know, if you've never been there, you think a lot of horrible stuff. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when you're in there, sometimes God meets you where you are. And when he met me where I was reading a verse out the Bible and trying to look out the window, and all I could hear was, I'll get you out of everything you're in, but it's some things I want you to do. And he got me out of it. I walked out of federal prison on 5 years paper because the judge called me back in and gave me 5 years paper because he missed seeing what Positive Brotherhood had been doing all those years that I was out on bond.
So we're here on Welcome to the Booth with Darren Todd on KDX AM 1590 with Greg Killebrew from Positive Brotherhood. Greg's been giving some of his story, how he began the program, some of the programs they've done, some of the things he does to help the community. We're talking a little bit, obviously, about his story. And that's one thing about Greg, who I've known for a while, is he's not afraid to tell the story because he's lived it. Nobody can bring up anything that's going to embarrass or upset him because your life is your life. I mean, you just have to move forward and do what you need to do, and that's what you have done. Mm-hmm. And you talk a little bit about being in federal prison, and I'm not trying to be overly broad or critical, but you've also been a state prison. Is that correct?
Yeah. State prison in Missouri.
And you had an opportunity in which you were out there doing what some of these young kids thinks is the life, or based upon movies or songs or things of that nature, of how they're supposed to, and then how they're supposed to treat females and how they're supposed to treat themselves. And if you could tell a young guy one thing, what would you tell him about that supposed lifestyle?
That life ain't no good, and it ain't true. You'll be in jail after a while because somebody gonna tell on you.
And in the end, as you can attest it, it's not worth it, is it?
No.
It's
not worth it, Mr. Todd. I'm telling you, we think it is. You know what I'm saying? But how do you feel looking over your shoulder every day, worried about the police, worried about people telling on you? Got people knocking on your door at 4 a.m, want some drugs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or you walk around with some guys might be trying to rob you. That ain't the life to live, man. Right now, I can go to bed and wake up, and it don't affect me and what I got going on. I pretty much don't care about it.
And I've obviously I've been involved with individuals. The constant looking over your shoulder, the fear of what's going to happen next, what's going to happen from one day to the next. It's something that that's the reason for the Positive Brotherhood is, hey, we're going to make a difference, and we want you to be a part of this. Come in and help us, help the community, and see where we're at. Is that correct?
That's it, man.
Now, in the event that someone wanted to get a hold of you or talk to you about the Positive Brotherhood, is there a Facebook page? Is there some kind of phone number? How do you do that?
I do it. I just tell people to look on my page, Greg Killebrew, picture of me and my mom and my girls in the background. My phone number is 573-246-4739. If you want to sit down and talk to me about anything, listen, I can counsel just about anybody now. Kids, adults. They just asked me to do a program for people who have lost someone. And they said, would you do it because we know you're going to do it right? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, I could do it. I could do it tomorrow and have success with it. But you got to realize when you're bringing people in to talk about, I lost my son to gun violence, I lost my kids to drunken driving, or my son accidentally killed himself. You know what I'm saying? When you get to bringing people in like that, you have to be careful of what you open up.
Right.
And
obviously there's been a lot of situations in your life that have really been turning points, I would think. And a lot of people say they're called, I've always looked at them as like a tent pole moment, the moments in your life that kind of keep the tent propped up, and some people are like happy moments and some people are sad moments. And there's a lot to talk about there.
Yes, sir.
And in looking back, and I hate to ask you this, how old are you now, Greg?
63.
63. Looking back on those 63 years and you look back at your tent pole moments, would most of those be happy moments, or are they kind of turning point
My
moments.
good days is outwearing my bad days right now. I'm doing pretty good.
And I know that you've really done a lot um, of good things. What's the future for the Positive Brotherhood? What's some of the things you really want to accomplish? What's the one thing that if you could do it and do it right, what's the one thing that's really been back there? And I can always tell you have some kind of idea, you know. And again, we're welcome to the booth with Darren Todd on KDX AM 1590 here with Greg Killebrew from Positive Brotherhood. Talk a little bit about his experiences and a little bit about what's going on with the Positive Brotherhood. What's the one thing that you really wish or hope the Positive Brotherhood can do before your time on Earth is done?
I don't know. I don't. I don't live like that.
And explain to and I asked you that question for a reason because I knew you were going to answer me that way. And explain to the listener a little bit about why you don't live that way.
I can't live my life wondering what's going to happen down the future because I don't know. So I live my life like this, man. And this is the truth. You can ask my wife. If I wake up tomorrow, I'm coming to work. I'm going to say my prayers and I'm coming to work. I work around good people. I laugh, I joke, you know, no matter what the situation is. Even with people dying, I still try to make them laugh because that is what is going to get them through, laughter and God. So I just hold my life as just a normal old guy, man. I go to work every day. I pay my bills and me and the wife do what we want to do. I'm a simple type of guy. I don't have all that. I'm going to tell you why, though. Darren Todd, I have been wrong for 33 years of my life doing stuff, negative stuff. I don't have time to worry about what's going on in my future, what's going to happen. I don't even know. I just know if me and God is on the same accord, I'm going to wake up tomorrow. If we not, you know, I'm just not.
And in talking a little bit about Positive Brotherhood, and we touched about it earlier, would you consider Greg Killebrew who I consider yourself the founding member of Positive? Is there any other people that you're going to hand this off to that you're working with right now, or is this right now Positive Brotherhood is Greg Killebrew?
It may be my grandson. I got 2 grandsons that's about the same age, and they look at what I do, and they want to be around. But you have to guide them. You have to teach them because you can be ugly by things you say,
Right.
and people will get offended.
Sure.
So that's what I'm teaching them. Make sure you say thank you, welcome, open the door for different people, you know. The mothers come in, open the door. I'm teaching them slowly. They ain't only 9 and 10, so, but they love being around when I'm doing stuff. Especially the one in Malden. He loves to be around when I'm giving away stuff. He thinks that he's helping. So I let him help. Pick up one of them heavy turkeys and give it to somebody. You know? Right. It's just to make his day. So he can say, Greg, let me give a turkey. My grandpa let me give a turkey to this lady. I'm okay with that, man.
And we're here. Welcome to the booth with Darren Todd on KDX AM 1590 with Greg Killebrew from the Positive Brotherhood. We've been talking with Greg, as I've indicated, about his story, a little bit about what's going on. And if you could, Greg, can you kind of just outline through the year, for instance, from January to December, kind of what the Positive Brotherhood, how you lay out things and what you do through the month and through the years?
Yes. I start off in January. I'm always speaking somewhere. If I'm not having a big event, I'm still speaking in Hayti, Caruthersville, the drug court. You know what I'm saying? We know we don't do Easter for the kids. We know we're going to do Mother's Day. We know Father's Day is done by the ladies. So we focus in on, like we said, July, we just said, I've been holding that program for 2 years, feeding our youth. This year I did it. And it was a success. To me, it went good. I had no problems. The kids loved their bikes. They loved what they were eating. They had no problems. Now I'm working on something like right now. It's called it's really, we're clothing 4 kids out of Kennett, 2 girls, 2 boys, and 4 kids out of Malden. Want to buy them a couple of outfits and give them a backpack full of supplies to get started in school. So now you got a shirt and a pants, or shorts and a shirt, and a backpack full of supplies. And we'll give them to the kids. And that's it. And I chose the kids that came out to Feeding Our Youth program. The ones that came out, I chose the kids out of them pants.
And did you put their name in some kind of like drawing, or did you just chose based upon what you felt was in your heart and what was in the need?
I looked at some of the kids that came out, Mr. Todd, and some of those kids that came out, you would have been like, hey, Greg, you need to do something, if you know what I'm saying.
I understand.
Okay.
And some of these kids who come out for these programs in the Indian Park, Jones Park, Martin Luther King Park there in Malden, do you ever see any of their parents? Do they ever come?
Yeah.
And do you have an opportunity to sometimes touch base with them and talk with them?
Yeah. Yes.
And do you kind of share your story and explain why you're doing what you're doing?
Every chance I get to show and talk to some mothers, I let them know why I did this. And they're like, oh, well, we thank you so very much. Huh? I'm just doing it, ma'am. You know, if he want 2 bags, give him 2 bags. As long as that kid get full and that smile is on his face, Mr. Todd, I've did my job.
Right. And I understand. So in talking a little bit about the turkey giveaway, explain to the listeners, what exactly is that? That sounds like a neat project.
I started 5 years ago giving away turkeys. So at my first year, I gave away about 65. But then people started to see what I was doing, and, you know, they donate, and they say, hey, man, how many turkeys you need? Man, I need 8 or 4. Or they would go buy them and bring them to me the second year. Third year, me and Jason Bean and one of his guys got together, and they sent me to the turkey farm outside of Springfield, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name of the town, but yeah. So I drive up and pick them up now.
So our state senator, Jason Bean,
yes, sir,
and you get together and you say, hey, you know what, Senator? And he says, you know, Greg, I think you're doing a good job.
Yes.
I think we need to do more turkeys. Yeah. And you go and get more. How many turkeys did you give away last year? You have any idea?
186.
186 turkeys. Yeah. And again, how do you decide who's going to get the 186 turkeys?
I don't decide. This is what I do, Mr. Todd. I bring the turkeys back. I put on Facebook where I'm going to be and what time. And I go there and give them out. And I had, last year we had the sheriff, Nick Daughter, helping us give them out last year.
And that's the newly elected sheriff from Malden, Nick Daughter. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, what I think of with that situation is the phrase, God helps those who help themselves, by, hey, pay attention to what's going on, show up, and good things are going to happen. Is that correct?
You can say that.
And obviously you gave away 186 turkeys.
Yeah.
Is the plan still to give them away just in the Malden area, or are you going to explain what you explain what you're going to do this year?
I'm about to come to Kennett, man. Seriously, I'm about to come to Kennett. We haven't made up our mind exactly, but they looking at, man, if you want to go to Kennett, let's go to Kennett.
And it sounds like something's just kind of weighing on your heart, thinking that you need to bring Positive Brotherhood down to Kennett. How long have you been thinking about coming to Kennett and doing more things here in the Kennett area?
Ever since I've been working at the courthouse.
And how long have you been working at the courthouse?
About 8 years.
8 years?
We're 8 years in November.
Okay. And you've been kind of, as you say, thinking about things, holding them in the back, working out some logistics, making sure that if you roll an event out right, that it's going to be a big event.
That's what I do.
And again, we're here. Welcome to the booth with Darren Todd on KDX AM 1590 with Greg Killebrew talking about Positive Brotherhood, some of the events and some of the things he does through the year. Right now, we're talking a little bit about the turkey giveaway. Last year, we gave away about 186 turkeys.
Yes,
and you think do you have a goal this year? We gonna
Nah,
shoot for
Mr. Todd, I told you I'm simple, man.
and again, and there's no hard questions in the radio. I'm just trying to
I'm
get
just a simple guy, man. I don't, I know November's right around the corner, and guess what I'm doing? When November hit, I'll be ready.
and I think it's very important, in talking to you, you never get flustered. You never seem to be upset. You always have a faith that things are going to turn out the way they need to turn out, just from good things are going to happen to good people. Don't you agree?
Yes, I'm gonna agree with you, but I'm gonna tell you something.
Tell me.
Me and God got understanding, and you might not know this, but I always tell people that all the things I've done in my background, if you could go back there, you wouldn't make it. Know why you wouldn't make it? Because you ain't me. I made it to where God wanted me to make it to, where he can set me down, talk to me, and say, hey, I'm going to take care of you, but I need you to do this. And I come straight out of prison and do 2 programs telling people about my past, to doing a gun violence rally in September, to going to Clinton, Missouri, to going to Cincinnati, Ohio, to do a gun violence. They just wanted me to speak because they heard me do my gun violence rally. They just wanted me to speak. Paid me money to come and everything. Bought me hotels, everything.
And let's talk a little bit about, the past. And I know that, as you said, your past is your past. You use it to help people understand. Was there times during those 33 years that you think to yourself, I'm not going to get out of this situation and this is going to be it for me?
It's going to be my life. That's why I kept turning to it. I did time in Illinois and went back and did the same thing. Time after time after again. They say it's insane to do the same thing over and over.
I think a different result.
Yeah. But I was doing it. Time after time after time.
And is there anything that we can say or tell these individuals who are what they call recidivism, who do it over and over and over again? What can we do? What can we tell them, or how can do they just have to get to the point where they're just tired?
They have to get to the point they're tired, man. They ready to quit. Y'all, I'm going to tell you something. Nobody can make your family member or whatever quit doing drugs, all that. You got to get it in your mind that that's what you want to do. And if you don't come to it, like I said, be honest with you by the statistics of the prison system.
Right.
I'm supposed to be dead or in prison the rest of my life. That was the chances coming out of federal prison, that I would be dead or in prison the rest of my life. And I'm here, 10 and a half years later, and I'm still telling them they owe me money for betting on me.
And we're here on Welcome to the Booth with Darren Todd on KDX AM 1590, talking with Greg Killebrew of the Positive Brotherhood. We've been talking and chatting a little bit. And Greg, is there any kind of programs or anything that you think that the schools could do to implement to help young juveniles and young people understand that the life that you chose back then is not the life to choose now?
They need to let me in the schools. Let me in the schools. Let me talk to those kids. If it ain't nothing but 3 times a year or 2 times a year, let me in there and talk to them. Because you can't, if you got a room full of kids, you can say something that reached some kid, but he's not going to say that it reached him. But you have to look around and look at the faces on the kids and see what their faces are. That's what make you want to go point them out. Like, hey, I need to use him for a minute, because that kid ain't where he's supposed to be, and he know it. Because you're saying something that he's familiar with.
Right.
Right.
And it's a situation in which if I went and tried to say, hey, this is not the right lifestyle for you, this is not what you need to do, I haven't been there. I haven't lived it. Isn't that correct?
I tell people all the time, listen, some people know the book. They can teach you out this book. But you got to have some life experiences somewhere. I mean, you got to be done did something. You can't just teach to me out of no book. I need to know you done. What have you done? Have you been homeless before? Have you ate at the back of restaurants before for food? You was hungry. Have you slept by a hot barrel that was burning because you wanted to stay warm? What have you did in your life that can make me realize that you ain't teaching me out the book? You know? So yeah, I've been to all those places, man. You know, and then I'm a dangerous fellow in the state of Illinois. I'm a dangerous fellow in Missouri. I don't care. I still do events, go where I want to go, spend my money where I want to spend it. I don't sit around and worry about the police because they ain't looking for me because I ain't doing that.
And talking a little bit more about, the Positive Brotherhood, the turkey giveaway, is there something around the Christmas time that you also like to do with the kids?
Yeah, I usually give away coats, hats, gloves, scarves. And then, I might have some clothes that fit some kid. You never know at that time. But I do that for Christmas. In November, I'm going to give away a bunch of turkeys. August, well, we just now started. We trying to clothe the kids, like I told you.
Right.
2 girls and 2 boys from Kennett, 2 girls and 2 boys from Malden, and give them a backpack with all the supplies.
And I think a lot of people need to realize that these children, who can be anywhere from 8 to 16.
Matter of fact, they can be from 5 to 17.
They're living the situation that they're born into. They're trying to do the best they can. Obviously, sometimes there's one parent in the home. Sometimes there's 2 parents in the home. Sometimes there's no parents in the home. It's being raised by the grandparents. And they may have 4, 5, 6, 7 siblings. In today's society, unfortunately, it's, hey, let's keep up with the Joneses. Look at the latest stuff they have and all this other stuff they have. And it can be, very upsetting to children whenever they can't have what other people have. Mm-hmm. And, I think that's so important if we can just explain to them at a young age that, hey, it's going to get better, but you're going to have to sometimes just hope for the best and see where we're at. Is that correct?
Yes. And that's just like you said, some of those kids don't have a bike. Mr. Todd, it was a little girl that walked to the park every day. She'd come get 3 bags, one and water, for her, a little brother, and a little sister. Walked every day. Even to Frisco Park. She was over there in Malden. And my girl was like, you know what? Man, look at her. I was like, yeah, I know. She here every day. Then another story was a kid I had over there in Jones Park. Said, Mr. Greg, I really want that bike. I said, man, you got to put your tickets in to win. I said, but I understand you want that bike. And I put it on my Facebook page, right, of how these kids just come out and say something. And probably have said it to somebody else, but you know what I'm saying? So a friend of mine went and bought the bike and told me to take it to him. That's how God worked with me, man. That's God, man. That ain't me.
Right.
He got people around me that say they want to help me. If I do something, they say they want to help. That's God putting these people around me. I ain't doing it. I only do this here. If a person give me something, it's going towards that event that I'm having.
Right.
You ain't got to worry about it. I'm going to do something with that.
And one thing I want to talk about, we're getting close to being towards the end here, is sometimes you do have some fish fries. And, I always enjoy that. The one thing about Greg Killebrew and the Positive Brotherhood, we're here on KDX AM 1590 on Welcome to the Booth. Greg is very persistent, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Because sometimes, I'm trying to do about 1,000 things at one time, and he knows I'm not ignoring him, I hope. Nope. He knows that I will get back to him. It just takes me a little time.
Yeah.
But, we have these situations in which we'll do these fish fries. Sometimes we'll do them at the jail. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
Yeah.
and you have some opportunity to have some people help you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Who helps you when you do those fish fries?
Well, when I'm doing them at the jail, I pick some of the work release guys to help me, you know.
Right.
But I did one over at Mr. Collins Firework too.
Right.
And my girl and them all came down, and my daughter-in-law, they all came down and helped out, man. But, you know, if they didn't come down, I have ladies who would, you know, would help.
And you know, I want to talk about, you know, Commissioner Don Collins. He's the presiding commissioner here in Dunklin County. And I think that you would say that he's been very proactive in what you've done. Is that correct?
Amen. Amen. Don Collins have been good to me, man. He's been a friend. He's been a boss. You know what I'm saying? He's known I've been sick, you know, and he's, you know, still been there to make sure I'm straight. And, you know, Don and Patrick and Ron, all of them have been good to me. But I say this, man. When I was looking for that job, I came down there and was looking for the job, they didn't have to give me that job. But he took it up on himself to give me that job.
And let's talk a little bit about that as we're going to wrap up here. And I know that we're not talking about your past, but I think it's important for people to realize that individuals who do have felony records and things of that nature, you know, it's tough out there to get employed, is it not? For just to have somebody give you an opportunity. And, you know, that's something that I've really wanted to look into is how can I help people who have changed their lives despite a felony conviction, help them get employed, because a lot of people see, hey, he's got a felony conviction, I'm not going to take a chance on him. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did with you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's paid off 1,000-fold, if I have to say. And you know, I don't agree with the county commission a lot. I want to go out on the record, but I do respect them, and I think this is a situation in which they've hit it out of the park with your hiring.
You think?
I think so. I think so. So, and just as we're kind of winding down, tell us a little bit about that interview process when you came down here. What did you say? Did you just say, just give me a shot, or?
No. They were sitting at the table like you guys are, and I was on one side, and I just told them, hey, man, before we do this interview, let me say this. So I went to tell them I'm a dangerous felon in the state of Missouri. I'm a dangerous felon in the state of Missouri and Illinois, and I'm on federal parole. And they said, okay, we're going to do the interview. I'm like, okay, I'm just letting y'all know. So you can't say I didn't tell you.
Right.
So they did it, and they called me that Monday morning, man. I did the interview on Thursday, and they called me that Monday and told me to come down here, and they had some keys for me. So really? So yeah. And so when I first got the keys, I was like, what do I do with these? They was like, you have to figure out where they go. So I did. I figured out, I named them, and okay, this one go here, this one go there. And then after I got them all learned, I just said, okay, I'm good now. So,
would you say that the one thing that you would tell everybody is when you go in for a job interview, be open and honest?
Be open and honest, because, man, your past can come back and hunt you if you're in the wrong place. But, you know, just be open. Tell the people up front. What are you trying to hide? You trying to get a job. You want to get a job, or you don't want to get a job. That's where I see it. I tell them up front. You can't say nothing but yes or no. That's all they could say. That's all the commission could have said. They could have said, well, we ain't going to hire you. Okay. And I went on back to Kentucky Fried Chicken while I was working in Malden. See what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I had a job, but some came open, and they told me to come fill out applications. So I did. So that's all that happened.
And the rest is history, and we're sitting here today, and 10 years later, correct?
Yes, 10 years later.
And again, this is Darren Todd on Welcome to the Booth on KDX AM 1590. Been here with hopefully, what I can call my good friend Greg Killebrew from the Positive Brotherhood, who's been outlining a few of the great things he's been doing while he's been doing this for about 10 years now.
Yeah, 10 years.
Obviously, it's a pleasure to be here. We'd like to thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, man.
And I've really enjoyed it. You know, the one thing I can always say about you, Greg, is we're plenty of stuff to talk about, and I love talking to you.
Okay.
And anytime you need anything. But before we go, if anyone wants to help or donate, what do they need to do, or how do they need to reach out to you?
My phone number is 573-246-4739. If you're in Kennett, I'm at the courthouse in the mornings. I work at the Justice Center in the afternoon. You can call me after I get off work. If you have something to give me, I will pick it up myself, so you don't have to bring it to me. Just let me know, and I'll do it. And I appreciate everyone's donation, because I'm just trying to help some kids, that's all.
And we appreciate it very much. And I'd like to thank everyone for making us part of their day. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth. And on behalf of my producer, Maureen Johnson, the executive producer, Evan Todd, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Thank you, Val.